Right, so Ashley Rak-Su,
Yo,
what's going on, my bro?
I'm all good, man.
Yeah,
In training camp, a few weeks out, so yeah, I'm all good.
yeah, man. First of all, I appreciate you inviting me to your luxurious studio that you have at the moment. I remember that the last time I saw you, besides Misfits, was a few years ago. We were just talking before we got here, and it was for a promo day with Rak-Su, and it was for Pyro Ting. Do you remember that time?
I do. I remember pirating. That was a very fun song, man.
Yeah, because you guys were really hot at the time, and you were telling me in the car that you guys are really like fun, bubbly people in terms of like pushing yourself in the music industry. So, just wanted to ask before we get into anything, like how are the boys, and what's happening with Rak-Su at the moment?
Yeah, so we are literally just we're spending a lot of time in here in the studio, just working on new stuff and just gearing up to release things like across the course of this summer, and to get out gigging. So yeah, excited about that. Mus is out in Egypt at the moment, building like a dance school out there, which is dope.
Oh wow!
Miles has just had his second kid, so
wow, fatherhood.
Yeah, he's being father of the year. He's got the whole shebang, amazing girlfriend, dog, 2 kids, boy and a girl. And Jamal is just staying creatively locked in, making loads of music, a load of content online, and just trying to flourish in the areas he's passionate about.
So it looks like all of you guys separately have got a lot going on, even though like we know you as a group, but you got a lot going on individually, and obviously like fatherhood, different music projects. Because I saw on your Instagram that you and Jamal are like working as as a new sort of artist name, like you're putting out a music track for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so as late checkout, and that's just like a passion project. Obviously, Rak-Su's the bread and butter. That's always going to be like the main thing, but that is obviously more commercially leaning music, and we also have a love for R&B and for dancehall and Afro and more chilled out vibes. So this is just an area where we can express ourselves and let that stuff out.
So obviously from the days of like, being on X Factor, and obviously you guys now are exploring different things. What has been like the main things that you've learned from the time being in X Factor? Obviously it's been years now since that's happened. To get to this point now, what have been the biggest lessons, especially for you?
And the biggest lesson I've learned over the past 5 years is try and live in the moment, because there will be certain times where things might be really bad and you can't see a way out, but there's always a way out. And similarly, there's going to be times where you're going to feel like you're on cloud 9 and you're never going to come down from there, but eventually you will come down. So whatever it is, just try and live in the moment, take each moment as it comes, as cliche as that sounds, and just try and enjoy everything and try and find the beauty in every single step, whether it be a struggle or a celebration.
Yeah, because you're definitely like embracing all that. Because if we go back to Misfits 2 in Sheffield, your fight against Anthony Taylor, we caught you backstage just after your fight, and a lot was going through your head at the time.
Yeah. I was drunk as well.
Well, I mean, what you mean afterwards and that? So.
Bro, I got out of that ring and the boys started giving me rum immediately. By the time I saw you, by the time that conversation with KSI happened, I'm already like 5 straight rums.
Wow.
In.
So you were really like you were just like grateful and just like letting your inner emotions out. The drink come out like at that point, you were saying?
No, but not on the real one though. Like,
no,
I
of
think
course.
Even if you've spoken to me the day beforehand, or if you spoke to me the day afterwards, or even now, like consistently, I'm always going to feel the same thing. Like Misfits #2, just taking part in that event was amazing. The event was incredible. The arena, there's people in there from 6 o'clock before the first fight. The energy is absolutely electric. How professional the whole thing was across the course of the week. Being in the Ingle gym for the open workout, which is one of the most famous and prestigious gyms in the country, to then being in a town hall with all the press and the media for the press conference, and then for the weigh-in. Like the whole thing's top to bottom was just amazing. So yeah,
because I mean, with your fight with Anthony Taylor, I mean, before we get into that, like, let's take it back from when you got the call. I'm assuming from Mams or KSI. Like, when you first got the call to be involved with Misfits as your debut, like, what was going through your head at the time?
I saw that Swarms was meant to fight against KSI.
Right.
I said to Mams, listen, whether I've got 2 weeks notice, 2 days notice,
right,
or 2 hours notice. If Swarms pulls out, I am there. I was like, if that opportunity comes up, I'm there.
Right.
So obviously Swarms didn't pull out. Swarms went and fought KSI. And then so in the aftermath of that, I think when Mams was sorting out the next set of fights, he'd obviously remembered that I reached out to him and was like,
yeah,
do you want to fight? These are some of the options you got.
So when it came to Anthony Taylor, when it was proposed to you, like, you know, what were you thinking? Because obviously he's got a, you know, extensive background, not only in MMA, but obviously new-ish into boxing, but he's had
multiple professional fights as a boxer. Yeah. So when Anthony Taylor got mentioned to me, I ignored him. So I suggested one person that I wanted to fight. Who did I say? I think I said Salt Pappy.
Okay.
I think I said I want to fight Salt Pappy.
Yeah.
And then I got rebutted with 3 options. And I said yes to the first 2 options. And I just ignored Anthony Taylor. I actually didn't say yes or no. I just ignored it. Because I'm like, I want to fight that. Right. You know what I mean? Let me fight the other 2 people.
Yeah.
Because the other 2 people were YouTubers. They had fight experience, but they're like,
so
YouTubers.
were you trying to balance out the experience that you already had? You wanted to kind of
I'm just looking at Anthony Taylor. I'm like, this is a professional. I'm not a professional. This guy's gonna mash me up. You get me? So I'm like, obviously I don't want that fight. But then conversations went forward, and Mams was like, look, the only person that wants to fight you is this person. So at that point, I'm like, it's fight Anthony Taylor or it's don't fight at all. And then I'm like, all right, bet, let's run it.
Because I was impressed actually because you went in all rounds. You know, in the first round, I noticed that you know, you were trying to reel him in, saying, "Come on," like reel him in and stuff.
Bro, that wasn't even a reel him in. Like when I'm shouting, "Come on" at the camera in the fight against Anthony Taylor, I'll be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I'm hurt. I feel like I'm outmatched skill wise.
Yeah.
So I just have to fight.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Everything inside of me in that point in time is basically saying like, yo, Ash, this person is more experienced than you. This person's already hurt you. So what are you going to do? You can either just have it or you can just stand there and just say, F it, whatever. We just need to fight. Do you know what I mean? So that's what that reaction was. I'm just like, it is what it is. Let's just swing it out. So yeah,
because I noticed that towards like the end of like towards like the 3rd round, I'm noticing that you know, he held it on, but like you, if I'm right to say that you were slightly gassing at that point.
Yeah, because I wasn't relaxed throughout the whole thing. So it's like when you get into a ring, and this is something that you won't understand until you've tried a combat sport, because I had people try and explain it to me. And I've spent my whole life playing sport, right? And I played football to a decent level. Like I played semi-pro. I played a lot of basketball, did like county athletics. So I've always been around sport, right?
Oh, wow, okay.
But it's different when you're doing a combat sport and someone's trying to hurt you. Like your hormones go out of control, your adrenaline goes crazy. And when your adrenaline goes up and spikes and then comes back down and dumps, you're finished. It don't matter how fit you are cardiovascularly. So
it's like a quick up and down.
Yeah, don't matter if you can run a marathon. None of that matters. Once your adrenaline dumps, you're done.
Yeah.
So you kind of were seeing a little bit of that, where I'd obviously got so worked up and I'm so tense throughout the whole thing that I'd blown myself out. Because it's not like once the fight is over and I've calmed down, if you told me to run 10K, I could have done it easily. Do you know what I mean? Like
it's a different
sort
of form of...
Like my body's actually fine. I'm not exhausted.
Yeah, so it's acting differently compared to like being in the ring and stuff.
Precisely. Right. So yeah, if it wasn't 18, it was somebody else, and you're like, I sit down for 10 minutes and go back and have another fight. It's like, yeah, I could do that. My body would be ready to go. But because I got hurt so early and because I was so nervous and so tense, that was taking its toll.
So I'm guessing like from the training that you led up to Anthony Taylor to your training now towards Kenny is completely different. Is it completely different? I mean, because you said that you were stiff in the ring for Anthony. Like, what's different with your training this time around?
I've just been trying to relax, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm more than fit enough to go through 4 rounds of boxing. Like, the only thing that's going to stop me from doing that is if I sit there and I'm tensing up my shoulders and then the lactic acid is going to start burning. If I'm really stiff in my legs and every movement becomes harder. If my mind's not calm and it's running at 100 miles an hour and I start getting too I mean, technically the word is over-aroused,
right.
but I mean over-aroused in a sporting sense
as
opposed to,
overhyped.
So that's the only thing that's really going to slow me down and stop me from being able to fight in the way that I can fight. So the biggest thing in this camp has been me trying to focus on that and just remaining just calm and just being how I am 9 times out of 10. Not even 99 times out of 100 when you see me, I'm never going to be overly worked up. I'm a chilled out person. So although I'm passionate with certain things, but yeah, I just need to go into the ring in that same way.
So you want to keep the same energy of being a chill guy in general, and then translate that to being in the ring as well as your training. So you're trying to, go across all the boards for, with the emotion, like you just want to be chilled, not chilled, but you know what I mean, in terms of like feeling more relaxed.
No, bro, I can't lie. I want to be chilled because I'm not like. I see this thing as a sport, and I love the mental element of boxing. I love it being a chess match of your body where obviously you can get hurt, but and from the moment I started, I like being able to outthink my opponents. That's what I like doing. You can't do that if you're not relaxed.
Right.
And so for me, because that's what I want to do, if I'm not relaxed, then I lose that, and then I can't be me.
Got it.
Because I'm not somebody who wants to just go in there and just have a brawl. Yeah. If you're somebody who's a brawler, well, then you don't want to be relaxed. You want to be gassed because you want to get in there and you just want to go for it. Yeah, that's not really where I am. So I can't really... I don't want to be in that mind state. I want to be clear. I want to see everything coming. I want to think about what you're doing, what I'm doing, and then execute.
So when it comes to King Kenny now, so when you first had the call... to fight King Kenny, because I'm hearing that he wanted to fight you.
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction when you got the call?
I was like, you serious?
Yeah.
I was like, is this really happening? Because if I was going to draw up a hit list of people that I'd want to fight...
Because I remember you said you wanted... top 3 was King Kenny, Salt Pappy, and KSI, right? That was said in your training video.
Yeah. I mean, like, King Kenny is... He's obviously a massive profile.
Sure.
So I'm like... I would have thought that maybe I'd have to try and build up towards that. And obviously I'm part of Rak-Su and we did amazing things and obviously we won the X Factor, but I appreciate I don't have the biggest profile in the world. So I'm thinking for me to be able to fight against a Kenny or to fight against a Salt Pappy, I'm going to have to build up my socials. Do you know what I mean?
Especially within the boxing world. Because you obviously
100%. Yeah, and even like flipping... Rak-Su, most of our fans are girls.
Yes.
The Misfits world, a lot of the fans are boys. Do you know what I mean? They don't know who we are. So to have Kenny then say that he wants to fight me, I'm looking up at the heavens like, rah, someone's blessing me. So yeah, I'm like, yes, please, thank you.
Sign the contract, done.
I'll be real with you. When I heard Kenny wanted to fight me, I didn't even ask about money. I didn't even ask about rounds. I didn't ask about what. Yes.
Yeah.
I said yes. Let's fight.
Yeah.
We'll sort everything else out
afterwards.
But first and foremost, let's fight.
Get signed. Do you know how many rounds that you're going to be going for?
Yeah, so now we know it's 4 times 3 and everything's sorted. The contracts are all signed. But it's just a thing where I think a lot of people want to do the whole negotiation thing. And I appreciate, obviously, if you have leverage, that's what you should do. But for me, I'm looking at it as this is a bit of a blessing for me. I don't have a lot of leverage. So therefore, if Kenny wants to fight me, first and foremost, lock it in.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the rest of it later.
Secure it. Because we know with Kenny that he's had a history of fighting southpaws. So obviously his last fight was Face Sensei, someone who's been doing it for over 10 years, and then the previous opponent before that was.
Hold on, the Face Sensei.
I think it's like 10 years.
No, but did he fight that fight at southpaw? Or did he fight Orthodox?
I'm not sure, but like the type of fighters that they would be are southpaws, if I'm correct. So like Face Sensei being southpaw, Temper being southpaw, and would you classify as being southpaw?
So I think DK Money came out southpaw,
right?
But didn't look like he was a southpaw. He didn't look like he was anything, but whatever. Face Temper is definitely a southpaw.
Yeah.
I feel like Sensei spent a lot of the time actually fighting Orthodox and occasionally would switch, but I think if my memory serves me right, I think Sensei fought most of it in Orthodox.
Right.
For me, I am Orthodox. That's I'm right-handed, isn't it? So I think being a novice is one of them things whereby DK Money is like me, innit? DK Money, look, I'm trash at boxing, you're trash at boxing too. So because neither of us are particularly very good, and when you're learning something, you can kind of like learn both of them because you haven't got a preference. Does that make sense?
I get it.
It's like, obviously, if you've been boxing for ages, like if you grew up playing football and you've always been shooting with your right foot, when you're like 15 years old and someone tries to teach you to shoot with your left, it's a little bit weird. But if you were to get somebody who never kicked a ball before and you told them to practice both equally, well, then they would just develop them. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah,
because I mean, obviously your mentality has changed. Obviously, you're, you said you're wanting to be more relaxed and not be so stiff. Have you seen like a lot of? I mean, obviously you would have seen Kenny's fights previously. Have you seen a lot of his training, and how for you would you, not only hang in there, but to potentially beat him? What would be your game plan, but without revealing too much, I guess?
Yeah, I love this. When I watch boxing programs and someone always asks like, what's your game plan on the gloves or how you going to beat them? It's like, who's going to tell
I'm entertainment. That's different.
Yeah, I feel you. But Tyson Fury did with Deontay Wilder, innit? He was like, I'm just going to run him down like an 18-wheeler. Yeah, Kenya, I'm going to run him down like an 18-wheeler.
I mean, he's saying it, so yeah.
Nah, I think it's going to come down to a battle of the jabs. And interestingly, Kenny rates his highly. I think I've got the better jab.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've got the better jab, and I actually think I'm going to control the distance.
Yeah, because when I spoke with Kenny on Fight Night for the recent Misfits 4, I was asking him about the improvements of his training from his last fight to now, and he's saying he's looking to get more angles. He's established a good jab, but he's looking to not lunge in, but move in different angles.
Kenny's developed a lot as a boxer. When you look at what he did against DK Money versus how he fought against FaZe Temper, you can see the rapid improvement. His brother has got top tier elite pedigree behind him as well. And that's his blood. So that means he's not going to let him go out there without preparing him properly. So, now Kenny's got a good jab and he's got good feet and he can get in that distance quickly. Yeah. Of course, the next natural progression is he's going to try and pick angles off that. Of course, the next part of that progression is, all right, how are you going to be able to fight inside if somebody smaller than you closes the distance and gets inside? So I'm expecting Kenny to come out being a better version of himself than we've seen previously because I'm going to get into that ring as a better version of myself that we've seen previously. So, yeah, I'm expecting the improvements, but ultimately, like, the jab is what's going to rule everything, and I think mine's going to come out on top. So
yeah, because you're saying that you're dropping weight. Yeah, as well. So where do you need to drop weight at this point?
Boy, listen, I'm gonna be the lightest I've been since I was a teenager. Like, it's actually crazy. I'm gonna be looking mug up, but we're gonna weigh in. We're gonna do it. But yeah, that's just the way it's got to be, innit? He's the A side. I'm the B side. I'm not naive to that. So if he wants to fight at 180, then 180 is what it is. So I will drop the weight and I will get down there.
Okay. Because I mean, you said in your training video that people on TikTok are saying that you're going to get knocked out by round 2. I mean, what are you looking to do to prove people wrong?
Brother, I'm so confused. I'm like,
I mean, it's been, highlighted online. I mean, things like that. But I mean, how do you respond?
How do I respond? I respond with laughter, to be honest with you. I can't believe it. I'm sat here and I'm thinking, I don't understand where this blessing has come from. Mm-hmm. Like, how has King Kenny said that he wants to fight me?
Yeah.
When I ain't got a big profile, he's obviously got a huge one. So not only do I get to fight on Misfits again, I get to fight against somebody who's got a huge profile. And all of the fans think that I'm going to lose, so I'm the underdog and I've got no pressure on me. It's like the most ridiculous concoction of luck and perfection that I could have received. So for me, I'm like, yo, you lot keep saying it. Keep saying I'm going to get knocked out in round 2 because all it's going to do is make it even better when I win. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be great because when I win, everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Ash won. Deep down inside, I'm going to be like, well. But to everyone else, it's going to be different. So yeah, I love that, man. I feel it's great. I ain't trying to disprove. Listen, you lot, say what you're saying. Say, round 2, I'm getting knocked out. Yeah, run with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to your fight with Kenny because it seems like with a lot of his fights that, he's put a lot of effort into the ring. We've seen how great his performances are, and it seems like a lot of people don't give him the sort of respect that kind of he deserves on that. So, I mean, for you, obviously, you're stepping into the ring with someone who's, has really developed in the boxing game. So for you, like, how will you match that, or go forward with it, like to prove, to prove you not your worth, but prove like in the ring, like that you both are hanging.
That's not even on my mind.
Sure.
I'll be completely honest. Like,
sure.
King Kenny doesn't get the respect that he feels he deserves, because the FaZe Temper fight, he was obviously awarded the winner. When you watch that fight back, it's like, how the hell are you the winner? The FaZe Sensei fight is even worse. King Kenny lost that fight. Like, comprehensively lost that fight. Round 1, he lost round 1. Obviously, plus there was a standing 8 count as well. So it's like, round 2, I think King Kenny maybe came back and won that. Round 3, Sensei won that round. Round 4, for me, it was about even. But even if you want to give it to Kenny, if the standing 8 count counts as a 10-8 round, Sensei has won the fight. If the standing 8 count doesn't count as a 10-8 round, then it's a draw. If the standing 8 count counts as a 10-8 round, and even if you give Kenny rounds 3 as well, then it's still a draw. Like, there's no way you could look at that fight and think that Sensei lost it. Like, for me, that's just whatever. So I understand that from Kenny's perspective, he then goes away, works hard, comes back against DK Money, stops him, looked great doing it as well. Like, Kenny, big up yourself. The way you stopped DK Money was sick. You look really, really good. So obviously he's feeling better about himself. He's getting a little bit more respect. So now he's like, okay, I need to beat somebody. But I think him and his team are thinking of, we need to beat someone, but we need to give you the opportunity to look good. DK Money didn't give Kenny the opportunity to look good because he licked him in his head once, and then that was it. It was game over.
Yeah, it was.
Whereas I'm sure they'll be thinking, if Kenny was to box amazingly against me and he catches me with a few good shots, I will take them and I will keep coming. If I go down, I will get back up. I will give him the opportunity to do everything that he's worked on. Do you get what I'm saying? If he's been working on his inside game, if he comes to fight inside, I will stand there and I will fight with him. If he wants to keep it long and turn it into that, I will do you know what I mean? So he has the opportunity to come away from this and be like, look what I have done. And obviously in his head, he's thinking, all right, if I can beat someone better than Anthony Taylor, beat him as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So from Kenny's perspective, that's what it is. From my perspective, bro, like, it's not really about Kenny. I said when I was fighting Anthony Taylor, it's about having a fantastic opportunity and also doing something that somewhat scared me to prove to myself that I can do it. And I make a lot of content online which I try to base around positivity and trying to encourage people to go for things. And constantly I'm saying to people, like, regardless of to you being fearful, like, sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. You need to try things, keep working at it. If it doesn't happen immediately, stay the course, be patient. So as that's a message that I give out, I can't not take my own advice when it comes to this boxing thing. I can't lose and then run away from it. That's not the advice I give somebody else. I would always tell somebody else, get your head down, keep working, come back, learn, and things will be okay. So I have to do that. So it doesn't matter whether it's Kenny or Jay Swingler or Salt Pappy or Swarms or KSI or Billy from down the road. Like, for me, it's about me proving it to myself and reinforcing the message that I try and put out into the universe. And
it looks like a lot of, you come across as a very positive guy in terms of, like, bringing a lot of positivity in the world. And I've seen a lot of your IG posters of late as well, like, having inspiring quotes. And there was one that stood out. You were saying about self-doubt, about holding yourself back through self-doubt. What was it for you that you got to that point of, you've had self-doubt, but you got to the other side of it?
I have a switch inside me that says F it.
Right.
Where if I go from confident to unsure to doubting myself, you get to a crossroads where it's either quit or say F it. And I often will just say F it and go, do you know what, even if I don't think I can do this, whatever, I'm just going to go for it anyway. Or I'll take the other route and just say, all right, cool, that's not for me. And so that's where I am. And then that's where I got to fighting Anthony Taylor, where I'm going to, I'm not too sure to suddenly, oh my gosh, I don't think I've got what's necessary here,
right,
but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to just flick the F it switch.
Yeah.
and we'll go and we'll get through it.
I hear that, man. I mean, because, you know, for you, that obviously these inspirational posts that you put up, and it seems like going forward, I think we were speaking in the car as well that, you know, well, we're speaking when we got down here, that you were wanting to get back to a time frame where, like, evolving yourself, like, but like, because obviously I say like the dreads are here to stay, and you know, you said on Twitter that you're non-eating meat, and it's like lots of changes. So you said it was like a few years ago that you kind of got to that point. So what got you to that point to be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna evolve now, like this is what me is fully represented as?
Maybe lockdown, and maybe I went through a period of time where I think my mental health was a little bit shaky, and there were a couple of things that I wasn't too sure on, but thankfully came out the other side of it. And so I think it's a little bit morbid, but we might die at any point. Like, people die every day.
That's true.
They really do. And
yeah,
I'm like, I know I'm not invincible. Like, I'm young and I'm healthy and I'm full of life and I'm full of energy, but I'm not invincible. Like,
yeah.
If you look at what happened in Turkey and Syria, that's 19,000 people who have lost their lives over the past week because of an earthquake that they didn't see coming. Like, literally anything can happen. So for me, I'm like, what is the legacy that I want to leave by the time I've left this place? So when it comes to making content online, I'm like, okay, the King Kenny fight is coming up. That's an amazing opportunity to get some more exposure and get some more clout. But what do I want those eyes to be on? Do I want those eyes to be on me just doing random TikTok trends? Do I want those eyes to be on me purely doing nothing but boxing? Or do I want those eyes to be on me actually trying to share some sort of positive message so that that's the thing that reverberates? So if, God forbid, anything happened to me and I died, bro, I'd want to die and people be like, oh, who's the person who just passed away? And for them,
and that's your legacy.
Do you get what I'm saying? I want for that to be it. And as I said, there's a lot of things that's always interested me just about the world and just about how we are all really connected as humans, even though we feel isolated and we're alone from each other. And I enjoy the concept of exploring that and understanding that if me and you were sat here for long enough and we started to peel back the layers of what makes us tick in our cause, we'd be like, yeah, I'm just like you, you're just like me.
Yeah, we're all human at the end of the day. Like, we all go through shit. We all go through different experiences, but we all live in the same. We breathe shit and live the same. You know, we're all
exactly.
You know, I saw and something you mentioned in your training video. I saw in your training video there was a comment that was underneath that caught my eye, and this person said, with the dreads, and if you put on a bandana, you pass off as KSI. That was number one. But also about Kai Cenat as well. Like, you would pass off as either his older brother or look like his father or something.
Yeah, I've seen that. And do you know what? I'm not even big up Kai Cenat in it, but I've seen that floating around a few times. People saying I look like Kai. I wish I had his bank account. See people saying like KSI.
Manifest.
I wish I had KSI bank account as well. So
manifest on that level.
You don't gotta bring me in because apparently I'm looking the same, but the wallets aren't weighing the same. So shout me, obviously, JJ. You know where I'm at, bro. Yeah. Nah, bro. It's all fun and games, man. I love it. When we go up to Telford for the fight, my coach actually looks like Logan Paul. It's very funny.
You were saying that you're saying you want to, like,
yeah, man, we're gonna get some prime, wander around and just try and convince some people on a vlog that we are Jake Paul and KSI, Logan Paul and KSI, to see how we get on. It would just be so funny, man. But it is what it is.
Imagine if Logan Paul and KSI are around at the same time that you doing it. Then
it'll be hilarious. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah,
can you imagine imagine if JJ's walking down the street and I'm walking in the opposite direction on the other side of the road and everyone flocks over here instead? He'll probably enjoy it. He'll probably JJ, if you want to hire me to be your stunt double, like if life gets a bit too mad, and you feel like you can't walk down the street, you can't even go Tesco's no more, anything like that, call me. I will be your diversion. I'll put the bandana on. I'll get my dreads dreaded how yours is dreaded at that moment in time. Everyone can think that I'm KSI. You can go about your business.
So like kind of alleviate the pressure a little bit. Like, just like take that off for a little bit. So, don't worry, I got you.
It makes sense. I'll learn the words to the songs. If you can't be bothered to do a gig that night, bro, I got the vocals too. I'll go and do it for you.
You're both in the music world as well.
What I'm saying. I got you, bro.
I mean, obviously so Kai Cenat, like, I mean, would you... I mean, I kind of see the resemblance a little bit. I do a little bit, like, Yeah, like when someone said that, and I had to look at both of you like carefully. I was like, "Bruh."
But I need to look quick. Let me just look. So I feel like I'm not gonna be able to respond to your this question you're lining up. What's the question?
No. All I was gonna say is that obviously, like, do you actually see the resemblance?
No, not at all.
So are you looking at it?
Yeah, nah, I don't. I think we might have similar head shapes, but nah, I don't really see it, to be honest. Yeah, not really.
Would you like to get? Are you looking at the idea of getting into streaming potentially, or is that something that's on your mind since we're talking about?
Bro, when I was in year 11,
right,
I was the best FIFA player that I knew. As in, I'm slapping anybody at FIFA. Left, right, centre, I'm slapping people at FIFA. And I thought, if I carry on like this, I'm going to fail my GCSEs. Because I was getting home from school, I'm turning on the PlayStation, and I'm just banging FIFA. So I was like, I need to stop. And I stopped for my GCSEs and never started playing PlayStation again.
Wow. How long ago was that, like, since you stopped?
Boy, it's like 15 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been since PS2 days.
Yeah, the only games I've played since then, I'm a little bit of a neek, I can't lie, is Football Manager, elite tier game, and Civilization, because I'm a geopolitical and historical neek at heart. So yeah, but so yeah, I don't really play games, man. Like,
no, neither do I.
Making music is very similar to like playing games anyway,
in a way, because it's fun, like, you know, and it's something you enjoy doing. So
so that's my thing.
Yeah, I hear that. So I mean, you know, I've asked every single fighter so far, who do you think are the top 5 influencer boxers right now, in your opinion, in your honest opinion?
In my honest opinion, the top 5 influencer boxers are Jake Paul. Obviously has to be in the list. KSI is in the list. What he did to Tempo was a madness. I think I have to put Big Salt in the list as well. Big Salt Pappy. Because, that left hand was nuts. I've got to put Slim's record is super impressive. So
it's like 6 wins at the moment, right?
Yeah. So I got to put Slim in there as well. By the way, this is like, I'm also doing it slightly on like, on clout, and I'm only doing people that are like have not had professional boxing matches, obviously, because clearly Idris Virgo walks through everybody, but my man is a professional and has no business over here.
Okay.
And then number five, it would have been Waleed, but Dean got him with that overhand right that was a madness. Number 5 will be the winner of me versus Kenny.
Okay. All right. That so obviously, when it comes to the fight, it'll be determined through number 5. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so, because I think like pound for pound, like I don't think if you were to ask Kenny this, I'm assuming would he fight Swarms and feel comfortable with that? I believe the answer would be yes. Would he fight Ryan Taylor and be comfortable with that? I believe the answer. Do you know what? Ryan Taylor would never be a comfortable fight. It's going to be a horrible fight, but I think you can win it. I don't think Ryan works too much in his boxing skills. Bro don't even train. He just does it because he's hard and he likes to. Do you know what I mean? I respect it. Tom Zanetti is going to be a big problem, but obviously that was just his first fight. I think after 3 or 4 fights, Tom's going to be a real handful, but right now, is obviously still new to it. Josh Bruckner is okay. Like, absolute specimen of a man, but Salt Pappy exposed him. So I feel like there's just a lot of people like a kind of a similar-ish sort of level. So yeah, really and truly, I would say winner of me and Kenny probably goes to 5 if we win in style. Do you know what I mean? If he was to beat me in style or I beat him in style, then I think like we have a claim of saying we're in that spot.
Okay, interesting to know. And what's your thoughts on tag team boxing? Because obviously it got announced like a few weeks ago.
I was waiting for it.
You were waiting for it?
I've been waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen because in my head, I was like, you know what would just break the whole internet? I'm like, KSI and Deji versus Jake and Logan Paul. Break fantasy
booking.
It finished.
The internet's done.
Like 5G
shut down for five like, working days.
Honestly, it's over. So in my head, I was like, they're going to do it because it's about entertainment. Like it has to happen. See what I'm waiting for? The Royal Rumble.
Oh,
I don't know logistically how it works, but I wouldn't be surprised.
There's some factors that are very WWE-esque as far as
dashing somebody over the turnbuckle.
I don't know about that, but I mean, as in like some of the themes that are coming in, like say tag team boxing is now it's never been done before. Obviously, a lot of Mam said it's like inspired by like WWE in terms of like thinking of new ideas because it's an entertainment,
of course,
as opposed to like obviously professional boxers, but we're looking at it as entertainment as well. So we're trying to do something different. So how do you feel about the whole with Misfits trying things differently?
More power to them.
Yeah.
More power to Misfits. More power to KSI. At the end of the day, like, we're talking about people that are trailblazers that aren't afraid of taking risks, and they've taken risks their whole lives and they've been paying off, right? So whether it pays off or not, I'm a firm believer in, take the risk and see what happens. If we don't like the tag team boxing, well, guess what? There just won't be any more in the future.
Yeah.
If we do like it, then there will be. Do you know what I mean? There's no harm in it. Some people that are purists might cry about it, but look, at the end of the day, I actually think what we're doing is good for boxing because it brings a new generation, the new demographic into the fold and exposes them to boxing. And it's been really humbling, but I've actually had some people reach out to me and be like, yo, I've started boxing because of you. And I'm like, bro.
And that's the positivity that we were talking about earlier in terms of, it reaches audiences and then they have experiences.
But I'm like, listen, I got knocked down. Don't copy me. Like,
yeah. Don't get knocked down, but like,
copy it next guy. Don't copy me.
I think what they're looking at is that you got knocked down, but you got back up.
No, of course. And that's the thing, innit? Like, you get knocked down 8 times, you get back up 9. It doesn't really matter. Like, you just don't let things defeat you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, I think what we're doing within this crossover space is only a good thing. And yeah, whatever wants to be tried, if people are happy with it and it can be done in a somewhat safe way, then boy, let's run it.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to your fight with Kenny. You're looking forward to everything that's going down with the next Misfits. Is there any words that you want to say to Kenny before we duck out of here? Is there anything you want to say to your fans and your audience before we get out of here?
All right, so to King Kenny, you're going to get out jabbed, my dog. I hope you're working on it. I hope your left arm is feeling good and strong because you're going to get out jabbed. You're going to lose that battle. To anybody else who's watching this, I hope you're having an amazing day. Whatever that dream is that you've got inside that you're too scared to act on, whatever that thing is where you're too anxious to actually go and pursue it, just go for it. Like, don't be worried about the repercussions. You can deal with them when they get here. Just go for it, man. Like, only way to make your dreams come true is to start by trying. So, yeah, you lot, peace and love.
All right. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to your studio, and I've really got an insight into everything. And the more I'm seeing within Misfits, the more exciting it's becoming. And like I said, I'm looking forward to a fight with Kenny. And I know Fight Week's going to be a Mazza as well, so I know you're looking forward to that. Like everything that goes with it.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? So I know you're going to come with the smoke.
Bro, Fight Week's gonna be fun. Do you know what? How I approach it is gonna be, I'm gonna mirror Kenny's energy somewhat. To be honest with you, so whatever Kenny's on, I'll be on. That's how it'll be.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it from the man himself, Ashley Rak-Su in the building, bro. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Looking forward to Fight Week. Hopefully, I get to see you there, and I wish you all the best, brother. Like in your fight.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man.